Hey gang, we'll be going over how to mobilize your whole spinal erectors, your whole spine. There's these big meat slabs on either side of your spine. We have beautiful Julie Fouché looking over us in my little home gym here. So I'm going to use a Gemini for demonstration purposes, mostly because I have a black mat and I want it to stand out a little bit. But you can do this exactly the same with a peanut made up of two lacrosse balls taped together. Just functionally, it's totally the same thing, but it's just for demonstration purposes. So you'll notice that I have the peanut. There's that with a peanut, there's a divot in the center. That's where your spine goes, and then the flat parts are where your spinal erectors go, the opposite of your abs. They keep you nice and tall. That's what works when you do deadlifts and stuff, and they're the opposite of your abs. So you'll just real quick, you'll lay it perpendicular to your body, so it's going out, and you'll lay down nice and steady, nice and slow, and then once you hit the big, so you'll start at the hips and work your way up. In your hips, you'll just kind of do hip touches, and then as you move on up, you'll put some little bit of motion in there. So let's talk about positioning real quick. When you put it in that low back, right around here, there's not a whole lot of mobility that you can or really want to do, but generally, sometimes there's a lot of junk down there, a little bit of low back pain, especially if you sit down a lot at work. This is a really great way just to give that little bit of low back some love. So what I like to do is lay back, my shoulders touch the ground, and then what I try to do is I try to tap one butt cheek, one hip to the ground, lift the other opposite one, and then tap the other one and rotate left and right. And what I'll try to do is I'll spend about 2 minutes in that low back lumbar spine from my hips to right underneath my shoulder blades. In order to move the peanut, I gotta move my body down so it rolls, and I make my way nice and steady, nice and slow up the spine. Spend about 2 minutes working from the low hip again to right underneath the shoulder blades. And then for the next 2 minutes, I'll spend right in between the shoulder blades. So right in between the shoulder blades, shout out to Matt Michaud, the owner-operator of CrossFit Ever Proven. Right here, so from right underneath the shoulder blades to right underneath the traps. That's right in between the shoulder blades, and there's a lot of movement that we do. There's a lot of stuff that we do in CrossFit and in everyday life where you got to engage, set those shoulder blades in a good strong position, and you know, a lot of junk accumulates. So this is how we work it out a little bit. You want to place it right underneath those shoulder blades, and what we'll do is we'll do some snow angels, and we'll set our arms to cactus arms, rotating around just like that. And we'll also give ourselves a big hug and rock left and right. So what that's going to look like as I set it down is right underneath the shoulder blades, give myself a big hug for 2 minutes just in between those shoulder blades, working our way from the bottom to the top. Give yourself a big hug, just rocking left and right. And then once you're ready to rock and roll, then you can do some snow angels, and you'll really feel that this changes the orientation, changes what muscles, what kind of fascia and tendons get exposed to that peanut. And it's one of those things where you're really going to have to work very hard not to make a bad face, bad milk face. You want to make sure you're breathing as you move, and a lot of movement's going to be good. Nice and slow movement especially. And so you'll spend 2 minutes in that from right above the hips to right underneath the shoulder blades, and spend another 2 minutes from beneath the shoulder blades right up to those traps, right about this line. And what you can also do when you have that peanut in those high shoulder blades is you can try shoulder taps, you can try hip taps, but you really want to make sure you don't hold that head up. You want to let it drape. You want to relax as much as you can. You don't want to get you don't want to get too tight as you are trying to do some self-myofascical release. You want to make sure you're nice and using that exhale, so you really drop yourself, kind of melt into that peanut on the exhale, and then maybe tighten up, move around a whole bunch on the inhale, but then relax, melt on the exhale, sorry. So this is going to be a really big standby for you. If you don't have a peanut, you really need to invest in one. It just takes a minute or two to make one. Yeah, that's about it. Enjoy. This is going to be a spicy one.